So, surprisingly enough, I ran 50 first-round mock drafts for the Baltimore Ravens. And I'll be honest with you, by the way, I use Pro Football Focus Mock Draft Simulator to do this. I'm actually surprised on how many different players actually showed up. Because every mock draft I see when it comes to Pro Football mock drafts, they usually have the common players like, usually it's one of the tight ends, either Kincaid or Mayer. And it's usually then one of the receivers, either Zay Flowers or it's usually... That's actually usually it. It's just usually Zay Flowers. But surprisingly enough, out of 50 mock drafts, as you guys can see, we actually had some pretty decent options. So let's go ahead and I'm going to sort this cell A to Z. Yes. All right. So we had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 total cornerbacks that were selected. So 7 out of 50 were cornerbacks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 50 were just straight. I'm actually going to write this right here. So 7 out of 50 were cornerbacks. 4 out of 50 were defensive linemen. And then 4 out of 50 was edge rushers, which is not surprising at all. Keep in mind what position we need the most is wide receiver, corner, and edge rusher. So it makes sense that literally most of them were wide receiver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them was safety. And I'll be honest, Brian Branch is obviously the only guy who shows up here. If it isn't Brian Branch, it isn't anybody else. Brian Branch is a safety from Alabama, and he is that next level guy. So he is that guy who comes in and absolutely takes over for us, right? We can put him at corner. We can put him at safety. He can do pretty much everything. He is that next level player. So that's why I do really love him. I think he can be a monster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 out of 50 were tight ends, which I've said many times I think we should take a tight end, especially after losing Josh Oliver. There's no 100% convincing anyone that we're going to automatically, Isaiah likely is going to take a step up or, our man Charlie Kolar is going to absolutely take off, which I think he will eventually, but not right now. And then it has as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 of these are going to be wide receiver, which, let's be honest, I think 1,000% Ravens are taking wide receiver. I mean, is there a chance we don't take receiver? And let me make sure this all adds up correctly. What's that? 11, 15, 20, 35. Yes, 50, okay. Is there a chance we don't take receiver? I guess, but right now, our only receiver on the roster, Rashad Bateman, and we're hoping that he comes back healthy and can play this season, but if he goes down with injury again, we're fluffed. We're absolutely fluffed. So, if there's no Rashad Bateman, it's back to Devin Duvernay, Demarcus Robinson, and absolutely cluster fluff of wide receivers that aren't really that good for us. So, getting a star receiver in the first round is very important. And right here it has Zay Flowers a couple times. We have Jordan Addison a couple times too. Quentin Johnson, who will not be available at pick 22. I'm telling you right now, Quentin Johnson might be the first receiver off the board. Jackson Smith and Quentin Johnson are the best receivers in this draft. If he's on the board at 22, all heck broke loose for this NFL draft. I'm going to tell you that right now. But Jordan Addison is also another guy who's on the board. And again, like I said, could we go with one of these receivers? Absolutely. Out of all these guys, my favorite, obviously, other than Quentin Johnson, who's the best receiver, is probably Zay Flowers. Tight ends, Michael Mayer and Dalton Kincaid. So, just a little quick recap of those two tight ends. Michael Mayer is the tight end from Notre Dame, while Kincaid is the tight end from Utah. Kincaid is a really good blocking tight end. He's not really as good at, being a vertical threat tight end. while Michael Mayer is the vertical threat tight end. But could also block. He's still a good blocker, but out of those two, the better blocker is definitely Dalton Kincaid, while the better receiving threat would be Michael Mayer. We already talked about Brian Smith. Edge rushers, Nolan Smith and Miles Murphy. Miles Murphy, I don't think will be available at the time of our draft. Nolan Smith should be available. He's the Georgia Bulldog pass rusher. He's not, insanely crazy. He's really good. And that's the thing that we probably will look at when it comes to us being on the board. But he's not that next level guy. So, again, like I said, that's why Brian Branch is still on the board and Michael Mayer is on the board. We'll probably take one of those two guys over him. But he's still a really good player. Now, for a defensive line, Brian Brees is okay. He's really good, but he's not like God tier. Cansey, I don't believe will still be on the board. Cansey should go within the top 20 picks. If he's still on the board, yes, we probably do take him, but I highly doubt he's still on the board. Now, for cornerback, the only cornerback it has us on here is Deonte Banks. He's one of the two mailing cornerbacks in this NFL draft. You have him and then you have Bennett. Bennett is like a knockoff version of Banks. I really do not want Deonte Banks. There's nothing wrong with him. He's a good player. I just personally do not see us really working out too well with him. So I will definitely say he's a guy I'm not really too interested in. I'm probably more or less interested in going with someone like, a receiver or Michael Mayer in this NFL draft. But again, like I said, this all does kind of go through if we do keep Lamar Jackson. Because if we don't keep Lamar Jackson leaves us, then we're going to have 2 first-round picks, right? Plus, we'll have 2 first-round picks total. 1 this year, 1 next year, but then we have another 1 this year. So we're probably going quarterback. And with our first pick, we're probably going quarterback. And our second pick probably stays the same when it comes to this draft right here. But definitely we'll say overall-wise, I'm excited to see what ends up happening. I think as many Ravens fans, I can say the same is I'm really just tired of this whole Lamar Jackson situation. Kind of just wanted to get it over with and get it done with. I'm just tired of going back and forth this whole situation. Being like, oh, well, maybe Lamar gives us, does this. Maybe Lamar does that. No, it's over. I'm done with. I'm over it. Let's just move on. If he wants to go somewhere else, go somewhere else. Go get paid. Go get his money. And we're just going to have to rebuild with Tyler Huntley. And obviously, if we get a top 5 pick, maybe we rebuild with another quarterback. I really hope not because, again, like I said before, the good thing is if we do get 2 first-round picks, right? And let's say, hypothetically speaking, we do, sign, I don't know, Ryan Tannehill or something. We go get Ryan Tannehill. The good thing is if we do that, hopefully next year, because next year's draft class is a generational quarterback draft class. Hopefully we can get a quarterback next year, and he can become the franchise quarterback. And this year, maybe, if we get, I don't know, if we do end up going at Ryan Tannehill, maybe we take a year off of getting a quarterback, and then next year we get a quarterback when we have, a top 5 pick. That would be awesome. But definitely tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.